All right, welcome everybody to the first Hoaglandia Open here. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I am joined by my buddy Matthew Bamonte here. We are going to be covering 11 rounds from start to finish today. This is, to my knowledge, the first large historic tournament with full coverage. Hopefully, we're going to have a good time here today. We have 170 players-ish in the tournament. We'll figure out an exact player count later on once we see who all joins and plays. I'm sure we'll have some drops from people not quite being ready. We are waiting for our first feature match to get fully set up now. We're going to be watching Marty Punker versus I Terminator here.
Sounds like fun. I watched Marty play a little bit yesterday. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in this format, though, for sure. A lot of cool stuff. A lot of different things you can do. Let's see.
All right, let's head on down to the feature match area, and see how this is going to go.
Cool.
Hold on just a minute. Working through some technical difficulties. All right, I think we're... Oh, I have the same one up twice. Bear with me.
Director.
I'm juggling a couple of things. Look at that. So we've got, looks like blue-red flash / tempo versus a Scapeshift variation here. All of the deck lists should be on the overlay for Stream Decker here momentarily. Players looking at their opening hands. Seems like reasonable keeps from both players.
Yeah, I like both of them. I mean, Marty's got the engine pieces in hand, and
yeah, Marty's hands may be a little bit slow if he is against like a really aggressive deck, but I think on the play it's more than fine.
yeah, I'm glad that this blue-red flash deck is in the round. This is probably what I would have played. I mean, I'm a sucker for these kind of stupid flash decks, so it looks pretty good on average usually. I did like the Citadel deck too a lot. All right.
If you're having issues with your opponent checking in the tournament, please use the message box to message them directly.
Fabled Passage.
MTG Melee has the ability to message people. So off to a pretty good start here for the Scapeshift deck. It looks like getting their mana developed. The couple of hard counters, well, one hard counter in Ionize and one pseudo soft counter and Thassa's Intervention seems reasonable for the other deck if they can get some pressure down here.
Yeah, I agree. The Druid is nice, able to ramp up a little bit. But, I mean, Marty has like 2 kill spells and it's like not going to do much this game at this point.
For people asking about deck archetypes, the Stream Decker overlay is active. If you're watching this on YouTube, the deck list will be provided in the video description below.
Nice. And aggressive with the Brazen Borrower. I like that.
Yeah, Brazen Borrower here definitely needs to end the game. Counterspell like Thassa's Intervention has a real shelf life in this matchup because the big mana deck's going to eventually be able to cast Scapeshift through that.
Yep. All right.
Maelstrom Pulse here. I feel like you have to fight over this.
Yeah, I think so.
I guess you have the Cutthroat, so like the Cutthroat makes it a little bit less... Yeah, I guess that's fair, because they can like Cutthroat plus Stomp here and like get a clock going that way.
There's a Cutthroat. Wow.
That's an aggressive block.
Yeah, super aggressive.
I guess they have extra threats here. Like, do they... Yeah, this is like the window. Do they want to like put the shields down and like stick Gadwick, or they like wait a turn to play the Bonecrusher?
Yeah, it's rough. I don't know if you're allowed to tap out against Scapeshift when they have 7 lands in play. Yeah, I definitely would have valued the
Uro is an absurd draw here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't have access to see how many lands are currently in the, or how many cards are currently in the player's graveyard, but it doesn't look like enough to escape the Uro.
I think there's 3 total.
Okay.
The Fabled Passage in there.
I really like this use of the Thassa's intervention here. Like, not only is using the mana important, but I think it's this card, like we said, has a shelf life.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, you mentioned the counterspell part probably not being relevant the rest of the game. I mean, again, 7 lands out for Marty. It's tough to find a window where Thassa's intervention is going to be able to counter anything worthwhile.
Yep. I like this on Marty parts, just like keeping the board clear. I feel like as the game goes longer, Punker's deck is more and more likely to be favored. So just like trying to stem the bleeding at every turn is ideal here.
Yeah. It's actually not too bad there for Exterminator.
Whoop. We might have a couple of small technical difficulties with Discord throughout the course of the day. We're going to do our best to keep both up, but we're limited by Wizards of the Coast not providing a spectator client here. We're going to do the best with what we've got.
Pass the buck. I love it. There's a lot of burn up here for Exterminator, but I mean, the Scapeshifts are just looming at this point, and he's really doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
Stats intervention. It's hard to put down the shields again.
Yeah, Gadwick is a card that's just like a huge challenge to stick in a matchup like this because the cost of tapping out for it is just so incredibly high.
Yeah. Just kind of waiting and hoping Marty bricks on a land is what it looks like. There's another Maelstrom Pulse, man. I kind of laughed at these Maelstrom Pulses earlier, but they've done pretty well for Marty.
I honestly think Maelstrom Pulse is probably the best card that they put into Historic via one of these historic anthologies. It just like does so much. It's so flexible.
Yeah. Wow.
Pull that one up on screen here for folks. Not familiar with that one. Not only destroys any non-land permanent, but destroys all copies of it too. So it's especially good against like other Field of the Dead decks or cleaning up multiple hate cards.
I think you got a Gadwick for like 2 here to try and find another Ionize.
Yeah, interesting here. So being super defensive, choosing not to put the intervention out. And I suppose the intervention is still like fine, right?
Yeah, just Gadwick's for 0 actually.
Marty being super patient here to not play into a counterspell while it's possibly waiting to Scapeshift until he can play through the Thassa's intervention.
Yeah. I mean, he's got all day at this point. He's going to be back up to 20 with this Uro.
Yeah, I agree. The onus is on Terminator to get this game over with, and I feel like Marty can kind of take his time. We'll see this. We might see this Embercleave slam down next turn, which could really put a clock on the Scapeshift deck.
I mean, yeah, it looks like Terminator's deck's just going to start breaking out here and hitting some lands. I mean, he's got the Castle Vantress in play, but it's pretty tough at this point to get that rolling.
And again, choosing to hold up. Again, choosing just hold up the Thassa intervention, which I think makes sense. Like, as long as they have interaction, there's not huge pressure.
Yeah, they can still stick Embercleave at any point.
Yep, and I like this on Marty's part now. This is like making him have 2 counterspells. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see the second Scapeshift just jam here at this point.
Yeah.
He could also choose to play around with other intervention, but they've already played 2 of those, right? Okay, so Marty choosing to go a little bit slow here.
Either way, this is pretty good. Good turn. And as a 17, really under no pressure of dying. And this Gadwick. This looks like a free block for Marty, but the Embercleave is hanging out there.
Okay, yep, here we go. So this is, with the Lightning Strike, this is actually
11?
a 2-turn clock.
Yeah.
Which is, this is going to force Marty to, like, okay, the Scapeshift has to get cast here, right? Like, we don't have the option to wait.
Yeah, and Embercleave's a pretty big beating, especially against the zombie army that's likely to come. Huh.
Kind of surprised to not see Marty float mana here, because if he would have floated mana or tapped a little bit differently, he could have also escaped the Uro this turn, right? Maybe a little bit, Maybe a little bit of a misstep there on his part.
Yeah.
Let's flip this around so we can see Marty grabbing some lands out of his deck here, looking to grab a bunch of differently named lands so the Field of the Dead can pop off here.
Yeah, it's a weird one because the Fabled Passages, I think there's only 3 basics left when I look through here. So 4 basics left, okay.
So there's all the field counters coming down.
Yeah.
Field of the Dead, powerful card that was unsuspended in the last round of updates. One of the things I really like about Historic is that in addition to normal set release, we have these historic anthologies, gives them a little bit of the ability to be flexible with what cards are legal in the format.
Yeah. All right. Gotta hope for some real heaters here, and neither of those are.
Yeah, I'm not sure at this point. I'd be very surprised. I don't have their deck list in front of me, but I'd be pretty surprised if there's a Flame Sweep in the main deck.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. There's got to be like Flame Sweep is the one way to get out of it at this point. Man, it goes back to that early turn though, where the I feel like that Brineborn Cutthroat block was mega aggressive, and
yeah, I agree. Or it was the opposite, right? It was really defensive for a card that like without a Dread presence in play. I feel like that was. I kind of expect to see all 10 zombies block here, just like just all of it, just like not get blown out by anything if possible. And interface tip for folks that are playing with Field of the Dead, you can click the 10 on those zombies and then click on the Gadwick to just block with all of them, which is super clean and convenient. If you have any questions about the tournament, please pop on into the subscriber Discord server. There's a Helglandia open channel. Both Krillydactyl and I believe it's Rhythm. Krillydactyl's my wife, and Rhythm is a rep from MTG Melee. They're handling issues while I handle the coverage today.
Okay, so just gonna trade out with the zombies.
Interesting blocks there. I feel like I would have blocked with all 10 and just like guaranteed taking this off the table.
You just stick this guy as a...
Yeah, we're actually not dead on board now, right? So like Marty was trying to set up to have lethal the following turn, and like the fact that there was a removal plus a blocker there punishes him for that. I think he's still okay in the long run. He's just like not gonna have lethal the following turn.
Yeah. He's gonna be able to make at least 2 more zombies this turn also because the Fabled Passages.
Yep. Oh, Cavalier of Thorns is
That's
a big boy. Thinking about, I actually like this here. So he's thinking about escaping the second Uro to get more buffer on the health total. And I actually don't hate that because I feel like the only way you lose in this game is like by a flurry of burn by mistake. So like being extra conservative and buffering the life total with Uros seems really appealing.
Yeah, I mean at this point Gadwick's like a couple ops away from killing you anyways.
Yeah, the Gadwick flavor text, so to speak here, of tapping whenever you play a blue spell could be a concern, especially if you get aggressive with these. Yep. Yeah,
Grazer's actually nice too.
I think the not trading with that Gadwick by stack blocking could potentially come back to bite him here.
Yeah, he picked up a Arboreal Grazer as well, so like I think he has another forest left. Oh, he doesn't have another forest left. Okay. So that's one more way to get some beef in front of the Gadwick, but
I think the life gain from Uro is going to solidly put this one away.
Yeah, I'm with you. Syncopate, that's not good at this point.
Yeah, and I think again, this whole game, like you pointed out, goes back to that really defensive block with the trade for the Brineborn Cutthroat on like turn 4 or 5 for the Dryad. I think had he been a little bit more aggressive with that card, Marty wouldn't have had quite as much time to stabilize in this game.
Yeah, there was that. Like I don't know. I play these games really weird, so like I might have even like countered to protect the Brazen Borrower. I don't know. It was a really tough turn. But,
yeah, I agree. Like you gotta strike a balance between like having disruption for their big plays, but also still applying an appropriate amount of pressure so your disruption has a chance to do something.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, so the sideboards are pretty straightforward here.
Easy flame sweeps in on the blue-red side. I kind of expect Marty to become a little bit more interactive. Like I said, I think as the game goes long, he's more favored, so he just like kind of wants to play a kill all the things style game.
Okay. Do you think he plays something like Questing Beasts to like end the game quicker, or no?
No, definitely not. If I was Marty, I'd be bringing in like the Disfigures and the Assassin's trophies here. I think just keeping the opponent's board clear as much as possible is exactly what you want to do. Like how that last game played out, I think was kind of ideal, and you want to board in a way to make as many games as possible happen that way.
That makes sense.
I would.
The bad cards, like the shocks, are coming out for Terminator and things like that. Just don't do a lot.
Yep. Yeah, I actually like Marty trimming the growth spirals here. I think and the grazers. I think slowing down and just being more interactive is ideal.
Gotcha. Yeah, Scapeshift deck looks cool. A lot of good stuff. Cavalier of Thorns is such a great card. Green has no shortage of good cards, that's for sure.
All right. Take a look at some opening hands here. Super great hand for Terminator here on the bottom. Yep. Got the early Cutthroat. If he can keep it alive, is very, very good.
Yeah, it's nice. Marty's on a mulligan here, I think, to 6, but his hand's pretty solid overall. A couple kill spells, as you mentioned. Mystical Dispute is pretty nice, and then Rewards.
Dispute's actually excellent here. It's going to be a piece of 1-mana interaction that will let Marty counter Cutthroat, which is great.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll be interesting to see if Marty elects to hold up Dispute or Agonizing Remorse on 2, because if he remorses, the Cutthroat gets to enter in response.
Right. Yeah, and I was thinking, like, for Terminator, it's like, do you think about, casting the Cutthroat when Marty's tapped out? But it looks like you're going to go for display the Remorse. A lot of good targets there.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I feel like I'd either take the Ionize or the Brazen Borrower. Like I said, I think if Marty's able to keep the board clear, it tends to favor him. So I probably would prioritize just taking all the threats I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty identifying that as well here, it looks like.
He's got, and again, Marty has that Mystical Dispute up, so he's got one of these things covered, whichever one. The Ionize.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. The Dispute means that the Ionize is going to struggle to really be live until much later.
Oh.
When do you deem your opponent a no-show? Give them at least like 20 minutes or so for this first match.
Yeah, I think Christy just mentioned something, actually. If everybody's in the Discord in that Hoaglandia Open, I think Christy just mentioned something about that. Yeah, this is a hard squeeze here, too, now, because if you try and Ionize this, now you get blown out by Mythical Dispute. And Marty's back in a good spot here. Okay, Lonely Sandbar.
Okay, we got a Dread Presence here. Yeah, I like just jamming this. 2 of the 3 cards in the hand. Let's get a little bit of a threat into play. Borrower is exactly what they're looking for here. We'll see this land cycle out.
That's really good. Nice. Yeah, and Castle Vantress, another good pickup as well. Able to kind of churn through the deck here a little bit, find what's important.
Thom, can you ask Christy to make an announcement about that on the Discord server? She's going to be handling stuff like that. That's a good thing to note, though. Dear Wizards of the Coast, if you're out there and someone is watching, please give us a historic tournament mode. So you don't have to worry about things like that.
Yeah.
Little bit of tempo here on the Brazen Borrower's part.
Yes, it's pretty good.
Really hoping to dodge swamps from Marty's side of the board right now. If he can dodge a swamp for a turn or 2, he can definitely dodge a ball. There's a swamp.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a big draw because it lets him not only buffer his life total a little bit, but it takes a Brazen Borrower off the table too.
Yeah, this is pretty tough. I do like being aggressive though, with the Brazen Borrowers and keep.
I think Terminator played their turn well. Swamp was definitely what Marty was looking for there. I wonder if we'll see the Flame Sweep plus Bonecrusher Giant cash in here.
I was thinking about that as well.
It's tough.
You can do everything.
It's a tough choice because, like, they can bluff something, but is the bluff really, like, is it going to stop Marty from doing what he's doing, or is Marty in a position where he just has to jam? And, like, right. I think Marty's far enough behind that he's kind of on the Space Jam plan.
And man, that's tough. And like Marty has double Maelstrom Pulse as well, so like that's
we see Terminator here thinking about, do they just commit another threat to the board too? And I kind of like this. No extra swamp is good. If a second swamp had come off the top here, I think the game would just be completely out of reach.
Yeah.
Double Maelstrom Pulse might do that anyways, though. Here we could see Marty just like fully clean up Terminator side of the board here.
Yeah, I'm pretty into that, honestly. I mean, you go down to 7 because of the Bonecrusher's ability, but like you still have this. You have a Dread Presence. You have another one in hand. If you had a swamp ever, like
correct, yeah, just like any swamp like puts the game like out of burn range here.
I mean, even at this point, like the 3/3 is, it's a clock.
Yep, yeah, and the second one as well. Okay, that's well, that's not a swamp, but it's a way to gain some life.
Yeah.
Marty definitely want to attack here first because Brazen Borrower punishes playing the arrow pre-combat.
Right.
Like this, good sequencing here. If Marty misses on, I might bounce the presence and response here because if he grabs a swamp, he's gonna want to play it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say definitely don't want to miss one.
Yeah. Yep. God, Uro is just such a beat. Like just the incidental life gain against these aggressive decks that Uro creates is so devastating.
It's tough, man. Jeez. Casual gain 6, draw a couple cards.
Yeah, just like double time walk with cantrips. Okay,
yeah.
That's a good one. That means that the first Uro escape's not going to work out. And Terminator's got enough mana here on the bottom that they can activate Castle plus Gust, which is decent.
Yeah. It's been a tight game so far.
Yep. Yeah, the blue-red deck, the games that it wins, they're always very tiny edges type games for sure.
Is it a swamp? No. Okay.
Oh, so Marty's at 10? Yeah, this cleave. We get to cleave plus hold up Aether Gust this turn. This could be what we were looking for.
Yeah, big fan.
And we just gotta like fade the swamp, right?
Just for turn, yeah.
One just like fingers crossed, no swamp off the top.
Yeah. Oh man.
Whew! All right, dodging bullets. This is just like cannot get this Aether Gust cast quickly enough when either this or Cavalier happen here.
That is great. That is great. All right.
Okay, and we see a concession from Marty taking us back to sideboarding here.
Man, that was a good game back and forth. Those Dread Presents were going to be a complete beating. I mean, you can't remove the Brazen Borrowers from your deck, but man, it's tough to stare the Dread Presents down.
Yep. Yeah, that was a good comeback. Good comeback on the blue-red part there. Embercleave is just so necessary in this archetype.
Yeah.
And honestly, Embercleave, I've complained about that card a lot in Standard, but it definitely feels like one of the cards that like made Field safe to put back into Historic.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair. And like, there's way more answers, like flexible answers in this format too.
All right, opening hands here. I like Marty's. I probably expect to see a mulligan here from Terminator with no pressure.
Yeah, it's really close, but.
Embercleave's like those cards, like, while it's so important to close games like the last one that we saw. Yeah, I mean, this is one where you're like, hand sucks keep, basically. You're like, you're not excited about it, but...
Boy, that's tough. Yeah.
The Forgotten Cave on 1 here is interesting. I feel like I probably would have led on the castle. Okay, yeah. we drew this, so actually getting paid off for leading on the cave. The upside to leading on the castle is if you draw a mountain, you can cast a 2-drop on 2.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing here is he's going to have all the mana ready to roll, especially with these 2 Assassin's trophies that Marty has.
Yep, and I was gonna say we're gonna see that very real drawback to Assassin's Trophy here, where giving this tempo deck extra mana in the early game is very likely to be a big deal.
Man, yeah, he's looking pretty good here.
Marty, pretty unfortunate to miss this land drop here. I wonder if we'll see. I wonder if we'll smell weakness and just like, yeah, I really like this from Terminator. Like,
Definitely.
Marty hasn't played a land yet. You want to just get your clock into play and beat them down ASAP. I like that Marty bottomed that. He just needs to draw lands here.
Yeah, it's really looking really good for Exterminator here at this point. I mean,
yeah, I think you're like in for that Syncopate against an opponent that's missed land drops here for sure.
yeah. And like these Maelstrom pulses are just not going to be good right now. You don't want a trophy to ramp.
I like this. I think playing the Borrower here and adding more pressure to the table. Yep. Marty's up against the wall here for sure. I think if he draws a 4th land into some swamps for this Dread Presence, he might end up okay, but he definitely has an uphill climb at this point.
Well, the Syncopate's on now too because like we've double ramped with the Assassin's trophies. Yeah. So
like, the Cutthroat 2 here. The hits are not stopping for Terminator. Yeah. Gosh, you just like jam the Cutthroat here? Okay, so we're just gonna like go threat. I like this.
Yeah, I think so. Cutthroat Borrower, yeah, I'm pretty into that.
Yep. It's like 6 power out immediately again. So Marty is like all in for a swamp next turn, and whew, second counter is gonna probably put this game away.
Yeah, that's a beating. Just hang out.
Yeah, Marty hit the swamp here, but we've got 2 no buttons lined up and ready to go.
Yeah. Healed Syncopate for 1. One of my favorite feelings in Earth.
I feel like I've been Simian Spirit Guided enough time in older formats that like in spots like that I'm always like, let's do 2 just in case. Just in case. Yeah, this one is done so.
Yeah, the tempo of the 2 Assassin's trophies was really big. I mean, otherwise, Terminator has 3 lands. So
yeah, exactly. Like that not only did Marty miss their land drops, but on top of that, they accelerated Terminator twice.
Yeah, it was a good one. Back and forth.
All right, I think we have a second feature match still going here. I'm going to see if we can pop on into that one here.